Hi, welcome back to my eBay bench. Today we're gonna pull some orders real quick. It seems like we may be getting out of our slow period. This is Saturday morning, so Friday we had a pretty good day. Let's see, it was about maybe $165 day, which is good for me. Yeah, $165. Today I think is gonna be a little bit shy of that, but close. So let's grab our phone and see what orders we have to pick, and then we're going to go and grab them as fast as we can. My wife is coming home early today. She wants to get lunch. It's already noon. The post office closes at 2:30, so we need to get these orders picked and packed and delivered over there as quickly as possible. So we're going to start with some small, simple things, and then we've got a couple that might be a little bit more complicated, but hopefully not too bad. And we'll get these out. Looks like today, right now, we're at $183.48. After we print the shipping labels, we'll see what that gets down to at the end of the video. Shouldn't be too bad. I suspect will be like 140, 130, something like that. So, okay, let's see. First thing we've got is in the cube here. Cube 5D down here. It's another set of these Dungeons and Dragons dice. These are probably from 1979 or 80. Nice and old vintage ones. T186. That's in the big totes in here. You can see how low the ceilings are down here when I pass through these arches. I really have to duck down. I have knocked my head on these right here on more than one occasion, and I don't really recommend doing that. Okay, T186. This is some kind of a jersey. Pirates jersey. Duck, duck, duck. Let's see if this is gonna come out. This is good because there's something on the bottom of this stack, a library card catalog that I want to take out and do some, I want to try to clean it. And I bought it has some kind of a weird ring on the top where somebody had put a planter on top of this plastic card catalog. And I bought some plastic plastic renewal cream of some kind. And I want to use that to try to see if I can fix this card catalog, and maybe I can get somebody to actually buy it because I've had it listed for quite a while. Watch out, watch your head here. Don't trip over this drum throne. Oh, this is already in a box. Can I just ship this in this box? Maybe I can. This is a doorbell. Okay, we picked everything. It's just these 4 orders. Now we're gonna get them packed up and we're gonna do it right now. Okay, let's get these things packed. We'll start with these dice. I just sold a set of these just a couple of days ago. So if you've been following along, you'll have heard the story, but I've got these with I got a board game made by, it's called TSR. That's the company that originally invented Dungeons and Dragons. And around the same time as that, they had put out a board game just called Dungeon. And I got that board game. It's a fairly valuable board game, around $75 to maybe $125, depending on condition and which contents are included. And that board game that I got had some extra dice in it. These traditional 10-sided dice that are used for role-playing games. And so they're from the 70s or the very early 80s when the game was first introduced. And I thought about just including them with that game, and then I realized that they were not incredibly valuable, but valuable enough on their own to sell them. So these, essentially, I got them for free. I put $1 cost of goods and then subtracted $1 from the cost of the board game. But I sent them on sale, and I still got $23.39 for them. So it's not This is not taking a cruise level income, but it's not too bad for just a couple of dice. I'm going to just write dice on here. Let's get this out of the way so I can get to my scale. This is going to weigh like 1 ounce. 0.1. This is going to be 9 by 7 by 1 in diameter. I mean in dimensions. And then the buyer's initials are MM, so I can match up the label once I've printed this. Once I printed them. Okay, next is this Pittsburgh Pirates Mitchell and Ness jersey. So this one says Roberto Clemente on the back, number 21. Where did I get this? I got this at the Goodwill. I paid up for it. It says $20 in my notes, which is more than I would like to pay for clothes at thrift stores. But I must have thought it was going to be worth a little more than it turned out to be. So again, this is on a sale. I sold it for $52.79. So this isn't going to be a huge turnaround. Maybe we'll make $20 on it, something like that. Let's find a good box for it. For a $50 item, I'm going to put it in a box, not in a poly bag or a bubble mailer. What did they say? 52. So $53 plus shipping they paid. I think this rate's putting it in a box. It's not going to be much heavier in the box than in a bag. It should be pretty much exactly the right size. Should I put paper? No, it's not going to get damaged. It might move around a little bit in shipping, but it won't. There's nothing to break in there, so it'll be fine. Yeah, barely moves. I usually do, on these type of boxes, I usually do one strip this way and then one to hold this flap totally down. And I typically use my smaller 2-inch tape here, so I don't have to worry about, this thing is basically 3 inches, the tape is 3 inches. It's hard to get that tape lined up perfectly, but that one worked out pretty well. Okay, good, quick. I'm going to write jersey on here. How much does it weigh? 1 pound, 5 ounces. And these boxes are 13 by 11 by 3. I have a lot of these boxes and I use them often enough that I put some dummy boxes here and I wrote the measurement so I don't have to measure these every time. That should theoretically help me move along a little faster. This is going to CN in New Jersey. Okay, this next one is a doorbell, craft-made door chime. Should I open it and show you? Yeah, let's pull it out real quick. My brother gave me this to sell. He goes to a lot of, well, it's all in bubble wrap, but this is like, you know, the whole doorbell assembly you put on your wall. And then you have to wire it to the front door somehow. I can't remember if he told me he bought this because he wanted it and was going to install it and then decided not to, or you can hear the chimes. Or if he told me that, because he goes to this auction pretty regularly, and I think he might have gotten it there. Anyway, he didn't want it anymore, so he gave it to me. I was kind of surprised it sold. It has a very slow sell-through rate on this. There was one, I think only one that sold in the last 3 years. I would like to just ship it like this, but this box is pretty well banged up. So I'm going to figure out a way to wrap it or put it in another box. I don't know if it's going to fit in one of these. This is probably too small. Yeah. That's for sure too small. And I think it's too tall for the other larger. I have some larger ones, but they're shallower, so that's probably too small for that, but I could just wrap it and that will be fine. We'll try this one first, and then if that doesn't work, we're going to wrap it with, at least starting with this piece of cardboard. But this is definitely, this might work actually. Yeah, this is going to work. These are 12 by 10 by 4. I think I got these, I think I special ordered these because I had a big lot of magazines and I needed boxes that I could fit a bunch of magazines in at one go. So I made magazine lots that were, the number of magazines that were in the sale was determined by how many I could fit in one of these boxes. So this box is a little shallower than it should be for this package, but I'm going to make it work by, I'm going to perforate right along here if I can. Make a new bend point for the box. I think I need a ruler. I probably could just force it to bend and it would be fine, but this will be a little bit nicer if I can make it work. Okay, we'll do one on that side and one on this side. Yeah, that's good. So then I'll just use a little bit of a scrap piece. I have some smaller ones and put it in here so the interior box is never exposed. There we go, good. I might flip this upside down and make the bottom the top when I put a label on. This one's gonna need a little bit more tape because it's a little awkward. But this will do. We have a doorbell here on our wall that's like Polynesian themed. It looks pretty cool. And I guess it was probably what was in fashion when this house was built 100 years ago. But it doesn't actually work. It's not hooked up to anything. So I like it. I mean, it feels like it would be nice for the original stuff to work. And I thought about trying to repair it. But I just bought a wireless. I'm just going to put 13 by 11 by 5. This says 12 by 10 by 4. That's the inside dimensions of the box. Okay, where's this one going to? Ron U. Whoops. RU in North Carolina. Okay, next up is this final thing is going to be this train set. And this is going to be the big one. I went out to the garage a little while ago and got a box that I'm hoping is exactly the right size for it, but probably not. This train set, I don't think I've had it that long. I bought it in November of 2024, so just before Christmas. I thought it might sell at Christmas time. You know, that seems like a thing. People buy trains at Christmas, but it didn't sell until now. But I've had quite a few people expressing interest in it, and I've been wanting to sell it. It's a little too tall for this box. So what am I going to do? Let's see. I'm basically going to do the same thing I did with that other box because this one is a little taller than this box. But I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. This has this weird thing where the box, instead of having flaps, it's like folded to make flaps. So I probably could. I'm just going to cut these into flaps. like a normal box. I'm making this up as I go along, so this box might come out wonky. It's a little bit bigger than the train set, but it's a little bit too shallow. So I'd like it if it was basically just a perfect fit inside the box, but it's not gonna be. So I'm gonna put that there, and then I'm gonna make a line. This is where I'm gonna make new folds. So that will be fine. And then, where's my scrap? I'm gonna put a little scrap here so I can make this line a little bit taller. So if these flaps have to go over the other flaps, they'll have enough room to do that. So just the other day, maybe 3 days ago, I got a message from a buyer about this train set. And it was very, very long, maybe I don't know. It's not broken up into paragraphs, but I would say it was like a 3 to 5 paragraph message about how he wants to buy this train set. He was saying there was some pieces missing, he could tell from the pictures. And he was talking a lot about basically how much he wants it. Basically, that's the whole entire message. And then saying he doesn't want it to be shipped by UPS, he prefers FedEx. So I had been contemplating changing my I usually just send large items by FedEx or by UPS or FedEx because UPS has a big package surcharge. I think once you get over a certain length on any one size, they charge you an extra $4 or $5 or something like that. And I'm trying to keep my belief is that most buyers are looking for the best value they can get. So I'm trying to keep all of my shipping charges as low as I can so that I'm competitive with other sellers. Anyway, I was thinking because the UPS is a little bit out of my way and the FedEx is conveniently located for me, I was going to change all of my business policies that say UPS shipping to FedEx. Anyway, so he asked me if I would ship it to him by FedEx instead of UPS. I already had a sort of a bad feeling because of how elaborate this message was. And so I just responded by saying, I have no problem. I'm happy to ship by FedEx. And then I did change my business policy to, I can't remember what they call it, FedEx Home or something along those lines. And the next day, he must have finally seen that message and decided that it was time for him to reach out to me about it. And he told me that the FedEx shipping method that I chose was not the one that he prefers. And he would be happy to pay more for a better shipping, blah, blah, blah. Which, I mean, I have a handful of shipping policies and I don't want to have a million shipping policies and I don't want to be changing all of them. But this is a $125 train set. I paid $20 for it. So I'm going to make $80, maybe $60, maybe $70 to $80 on this probably. And I want to sell it. You know, I need the space. I need the sales. So I was thinking, should I change that to the different FedEx policy? And then I'm reading more into his message, and he's talking a lot about his personal life and why he likes trains, and it involves PTSD and health issues. And I just started to get a bad feeling that this is going to be a problem buyer. Once I sell this, they're going to want to send it back. Also, he was mentioning multiple times how hard it was going to be to find the replacement pieces. I think there's like a couple of these. There's these like telephone poles. I think there's supposed to be 4 and there's only 3 or something like that. I think there's a coal bin that has a little piece of coal on top of it and that piece is missing. So I decided I wasn't going to sell it to him. Also, with the previous message from him, I had already sent him a 10% off offer. So that would have made this item a little cheaper anyway. And I'm okay with that. You know, I wanted to sell it, so I'd be happy to sell it a little cheaper. But he said the most that he could not get up to my price that I was asking, that he would have to offer only $115. So I looked to see how much was the offer that I sent him already, and it was $115.19. So then I realized this person is not going to be a good match for me. If I'm offering it to you for $115.19 and you're bargaining down to $115 even, we're not going to come to an agreement. So I decided to not sell it to him. And in fact, I don't do this a lot, but I had such a bad feeling about it that I went ahead and blocked him so that he wouldn't be able to buy it. Then just the next day it sold. Then I thought, oh no, did I forget to block that guy? But it was a different buyer. So this happens kind of a lot where somebody is sending you a lot of message, haggling about a price on something, and then before they get around to purchasing it, somebody else comes along and does it. I mean, that's happened to me 20 times in the last 3 years. And sometimes the buyers are upset. You know, the prospective buyer, like I had one guy messaging me telling me that I didn't accept his lowball offer fast enough, and so it sold. And I considered writing back. You know, somebody paid me full price for it. Why would I be upset about this? You know, they paid me what I was wanting for it. You were trying to get a 30% off or whatever. But I just didn't respond to that. There's no sense in responding to problematic people. Okay. I thought this was going to take quite a while, but that went pretty smoothly, and I think it's going to be just fine. But I probably should put more padding inside this box before. I shouldn't have sealed it up already. I got talking about a problematic buyer and forgot to do what I was doing. But I don't have a lot of time to get this done before we're going to lunch. Okay, should I put... I'm thinking about what's going to go in here. So I have all of these tubes that I've been hanging on to because they seem too nice to throw in the garbage. These are the ones that the paper rolls come in. And this would fill up space pretty well. Do I want these plastic things? Probably don't want them, but I don't want the extra weight either. So this is just stuff that I would throw in the garbage or in the recycling bin. So I might as well put it in here and save myself on shipping materials that I actually have to pay for and fill up some of this void space. This one had bubble wrap. These two smaller ones were bubble wrap tubes. And then these bigger ones were the packing paper. Whoops. Come on, get off of me. This tape is sticking to me. They just put double-sided tape. They wrap it around here and then stick the bubble wrap to the double-sided tape. And it's not put on there in a way that's organized. It's just thrown on. It's just like, you know, loosely twisted around there. So it's really hard to get that stuff off. Okay. I don't know where this big box came from originally. I just got it from the garage just now. Let me see. It has a shipping label on here that did not come to me or to anyone I know. So I do buy a lot of shipping materials. Put stuff in brand new boxes if I can. I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to source boxes and going and picking them up. And I see free boxes listed all the time on Craigslist or on Facebook Marketplace. And if they were conveniently located to me, like they were less than a mile away or something, I probably would pick those up, go and grab them from somebody if they looked appropriate for my usage. What did I do with that big flap? No? What did I do with that? Did I take it out here? I don't know how I could lose something that was two feet by 3 feet, but I seem to have lost it. This is not it, right? Is it? I had a piece of cardboard right on top of here. I guess I have to review the video to see where I put it. Did it fall behind? This thing is on wheels, this bench, but it's really too heavy for the wheels even. Oh, here it is. So put that back in. I'm going to tape that back in place and then tape everything back down and get this box done. We're almost there. So you do occasionally get messages from buyers that, I don't know, they just sort of set off with some kind of signal to tell you this is going to be a problem. And that was the case with this. So I'm glad somebody else came along to buy this. I'm glad to sell it. So we only had 4 sales yesterday, but because of this bigger sale, this basically is, it basically adds up to the same amount as Friday, or Thursday rather. The things I packed on Friday. Okay, let's get this lid on and get this box finished. This already has a perforation right where I want to cut it, so that's good. It's got a straight line already, ready made for me. Actually, I'm gonna cut it a little bit farther back. I don't have any use for these. I gotta get this garbage out tonight. This little bin it fills up pretty fast. I'm just going to pull this as tight as I can and just tape one piece down to try to hold it while I figure out what else I'm going to do. I wasn't sure. I grabbed that box from the garage and I thought it was either going to be way, way too big or way too small. And it seems like it's just slightly too big. It worked out just fine. I could use that hot glue I used the other day on that golf club packaging, but that took such a long time. I'm not that invested. Okay, put this around this way. There's a good view of the side of a box. If I had like straps, like you would see on around a bundle of newspapers or something in a warehouse, I would strap this around to keep it closed. But right now I'm gonna get these flaps down, and then I think I'm gonna go all the way around it with tape. Like I'm gonna make pseudo flaps, straps that go all the way around. As long as one piece of tape grabs onto the other piece of tape, it's gonna hold on pretty well. Sometimes the tape will not stick that well to the cardboard, which is irritating since it's, that's what it's supposed to be designed for. But right now I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put 2 more long straps going around this way. I'm basically just trying to pull this lid down and hold it down so that there's no way it could pop open. This little strip of tape I put along here is not that secure, really. So I'm trying to hit one piece of tape over the other piece that I already put on. I could have just done one really long piece and wrapped it all the way around, but there's no way I could. My arms aren't long enough to do that. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and hit these corners where there might be some gaps, and then we're gonna be done with this box. Yeah, so we're gonna go grab some steak sandwiches and take our little boy Pineapple and go for a picnic somewhere. It's only the end of March, but yesterday I think it was over 80. Today it's not quite as warm, but it should be warm enough to go sit outside and have a little picnic. If we can find a place to take him. There's not much in the way of dog parks around here, and he doesn't really get along with other dogs. So there's one dog park that we sometimes take him to where there's never been any other person there. So we may go there, but it is a little bit of a drive. So, okay, let's get this labeled. Get this covered. We'll put the real label right on top of this. So I will write on here, train, even though obviously, how big do you think this is? I'm gonna need my tape measure. It's gonna be 29 by 23. So we'll check all of the shipping services to see who's offering the best service. Let's get a weight on it. But I suspect it's going to be FedEx, and in that case, I'm probably not going to ship this until Monday. This says 15.9. Yeah. 15 pounds for a train set. And the buyer is MS. This is going all the way to Pennsylvania, which really isn't that far in the grand scheme of things. Okay, tools away. Let's print some labels. Okay, we'll go to eBay. We're going to see what things are ready to ship by clicking here, paid ship now. And okay, I have this. This is the doorbell. This is dice, and this is a jersey. Okay, start with the doorbell. 3 pounds, 14 ounces. We should be okay on this, I think. 13 by 11 by 5. This is going to be $10.26 to ship. Let's go to our spreadsheet and put it right in. So we have just earned $22.47 on the doorbell that my brother gave me. Okay, train set. Oof. They only paid $17 for this, which is pretty cheap. 15.9. I drastically underestimated the weight of this. I think I only put 10 pounds in as 15 pounds. So it's going to cost, okay, FedEx, UPS ground is $25.52. FedEx ground economy, $23.91. And then ground advantage is $63.62. So the FedEx ground economy is what it was set up for, but I only charged the buyer for 10 pounds instead of 15 pounds. So they paid $17.53. It's going to cost $23.91. That's not a huge mistake. So in the end, on this trade, we made $71.06. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now the jersey, 1 pound, 5 ounce. This one we won't make much on because it had a high cost of goods. 13 by 11 by 3. And that's $7.67. After fees, after shipping, after everything, that jersey earned us $24.09. So that's fine. Now the dice. Only 1 ounce. Whoops. Only 1 ounce, and then 9 by 7 by 1. So we're at $4.14. This is going to Georgia, not too far. So that set of dice that I basically got for free as a bonus was $19.88. So altogether today we made, well, this is yesterday's profits. We made $137.50. We're at an average of the month per day of $112. And then the average sale this month per item is $24.70. Right now, like I was getting paranoid when we were having such a slow sales time. I was worried we were not going to match last March's sales profits. So last March we made $2,851. Right now is March 29th, and we're at just over $3,000. So we have 6.5% profit over last year. So January and February were higher than this, and we still have a couple more days. We might meet those 2 months. I'm hoping so, because I'm trying to get to $50,000 profit this year, and if things keep going this way, we're not going to make it. But we'll see how we do. Right now, we've got 40,000 left to go, and we're already 3 months in. So will we make it? Stick around, stay with me this year, and we'll find out if we make it or not. So that's it for today. These things, I'm not going to bother printing the labels for you. I'm going to print them off camera, and then we will call it a day. I'll be back probably not tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, or maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, we'll be back soon. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.